Okay, so we're gonna shoot a video on how to basically set up, move, and unbox a OHCO M8 NEO.
And we're gonna start out explaining what's the best way to move this big box, because it is a heavy box. So we found that 4-wheel dolly here is the best way to move this box, and the best way here is lift one in, like that, and put it down. Perfect. As long as you have it center in the box, it should go straight. And this smaller box is the arm and the leg unit. Go ahead.
Okay, so we're gonna take the dolly out from under the box. Position the box with enough room around the box for your parts and pieces. This really works better with 2 people. You'll see for the reason in a moment. Cut the straps off. Make sure you don't pop your friend. Lift the lid off. If you have room, lay the lid down so that you can reconstruct the box. That works. This is where it really does take 2 people to slip the outer shell off first. This makes it convenient for collecting the material so that you can dispose of it easier. Take out the foam cushioning.
And there is an installation QR code, but this video you're watching is better.
So now we've made our trash box. The next step is going to be unpackaging everything within the chair so we can start getting the chair assembled. Here is our accessory box that has screws in it, and then some other accessories to help us move the chair once we get it unpacked. So now we just easily remove all this packing and just put it back into the box just the way you found it. Makes it super easy to throw away. And then we'll pull this cover off here. And now the chair is exposed. So before we dig the chair out, let's dive into this accessory box, because there is a part in here that is going to make it really easy for us to move this chair. So we'll go ahead and open this guy here. All right, now we've opened this accessory box. So as we can see in here, we have our owner's manual. Make sure your customer or whoever you're delivering to gets that owner's manual. Then we'll pull this open. We have the power cord for the chair. We have some extra foot pads for the chair. And then this here is the Aromatherapy accessory for the chair for your essential oil scents. And then we have our Allen wrench tool, which we will use later to install the parts on the chair. And we have some extra pieces for the arms and then the screws. Now let me show you what this piece is for here. These are actually moving bars that helps you move the chair from point A to point B much easier. So if we pull this open, all right, so now we have these open. These are our 2 moving bars, and there's some extra pieces we need for the moving bars. So we'll open up this bag, reach in here, and we have these 2 pins. And that'll be all we need for that. So we take these pins and the moving bars. Notice how there's holes there in the bars. If you look closely here, we have these square slots. So what we do is we stick the moving bar inside of the square slot. We reach here with our cotter pin and place this in until you feel it snap in. Be a little tricky. Oh, I'm stumbling around. There we go. So now that's in and that's not going to go anywhere, slip out on you. And then we'll do the other side as well. So we'll put this here and then put the pin right in like so. And now you have a nice leverage point to actually lift the chair from this angle. Now, for whatever reason, if you misplace these moving bars, there is another very efficient way to lift the chair without them. You can actually grab here and lift up as well. That is a good leverage point too. And then if we come to the back of the chair, there is actually a handle down here where you can grab, grip to lift the chair up as well. So if you're ready, let's grab the chair and move it to the place where we will install the rest of the parts. Yeah, and it is much easier to lift when you have the chair in this lay flat position, which is how it comes. So how it comes, just unbox it, move it how it is, and you'll be golden. Yep. So we'll lift it, 1, 2, 3. And then we'll set it right down. And then here's another thing I'll show you as well. If you're by yourself and need to move the chair around in your home while it's in this state, there is wheels on the back, so you can lift from here and actually move this around just like it's on a dolly.
There's a wheels in the back.
Wheels in the back, yeah. Awesome. So there's that. Now let's dig into the arm box and show you how to install the rest of the pieces. All right, now we're gonna start unboxing all the other pieces for the chair. So we'll pop these straps off. Awesome. Now here we have the ottoman. So we can lift this out of the box. And this piece is pretty heavy. And then there is some nice, if you can see where I'm holding it, right there, a little gap to hold on either side. And we'll just place this here and we'll get to this later. And now let's pull our arms out of the box. We'll come here. So now we have both arms off. Not only just place them here on the chair until I have all of my other bits and pieces ready to actually install it. So now we're gonna dig into some of these parts. So these are the pieces we actually need to install the arms. So we have this wrench here, which we will need. These screws are just extra pieces we don't need to worry about. You can place those back in there. And then these are little covers for the spot where we put the arm bars in. And then here, these are the cotter pins we will need for the arm installation as well. All right, now we'll open up this little screw bag. Just cut the tape there. Open it up. And we have the screws we're gonna need for the leg installation and the arm installation. So we'll put those there nice and neatly. Now I'm gonna grab 4 of these. That's what we need for each side of the arm. Keep these with me. And we're gonna come over here, open up this arm package. So we'll get the arm out. Yeah. And we'll come here. We need to remove all of these other plastics. So that just slips off. Easy cover. Take all the trash off here. That off. And then it's very important we pop this cover off as well. And then also make sure, double check that this is snapped in good. This is a heater pad. Awesome. So first off, we'll get to these later. These are the electrical and pneumatic connections that go there. But first we need to actually attach the arm onto the body. So I found the easiest way is gonna be actually kind of using your knees. So come here in a squat position, line it up, and then push it right down onto the little guiders there. And then we have our screws. So we'll take the screw, put it inside right there, get it nice and finger tight. As much as you can at least. There's the top one, and then we'll move on to the bottom one. Once you have one in, the next one should pop in pretty simply. There we go. So we'll put this here, screw it in there. Awesome. tighten this up. I always like to get 2 screws in, one on the top, one on the bottom, so it's nice and supported while I put the other ones in. Makes it a little easier. So we'll put this here, get it nice and tight. Don't over tighten it, but just nice and snug like so. Now we can go on and put the rest of the screws in. Awesome. Now we've gotten the arm screwed in with the 2 brackets there and the 2 screws low and high. Next, let's go ahead and plug in the electrical. So our first step, we're gonna need to grab this cover again. And it's very important you do this first because this snaps on there, right? So we're gonna feed the electrical lines through the top of it. Just push it right in there, and then the pneumatic lines. And then get that nice and out of your way. You plug that in like so. Make sure it clicks in nice and tight. And then get your pneumatic air hose plug in as well. It controls the airbags. Just kind of roll it on there snug. And then you have the 2 guiders on the bottom. So we'll need to line those up first, like so. And then it'll click right in there. Now next, we're gonna use the cotter pin. So that'll be these guys here. So kind of lift the door up using your knee or hip. Line up the hole. And that will go right down in there. And then we get the cotter pin. And I just shove it straight through and then bend it back around like so. And that will stay in there. Awesome. And then we can shut that, and that is good. All right, I'll just quickly go over that again for the other arm, and it's the same exact process as the other side. Get everything prepped, with all the tape off and whatnot. And then we come here, get all of this ready, put your mounts out. And then again, you want to kind of squat, get this lined up. I find it easiest to do the top one first, and it goes right into those guiders. Take our screws, screw that first one in, and then once that top one is in, you can do the bottom one very easily. Just slaps right in. And then screw that down. Now I'm going to go ahead and tighten these two. You see how I'm holding it here with my knees so the arm doesn't go anywhere while I'm doing this. And you can use a low-powered drill to screw these in as well, but it's always nice to hand tighten it. You ensure you're not stripping anything out and that you're getting it the perfect torque. Awesome. Now we can go ahead, put the other screws in there.
That's been at least.
And always get it a little bit threaded through with your fingers to ensure you're not stripping any screws. It's never fun to deal with. Sweet. And then again, the electrical, feed it through the top, feed the air through. Get that plugged in there. And then the pneumatic, roll it on. And you want this to be nice and flush, like so. And then pop the cover on.
Yeah.
we go. And then the pen all the way through. And then roll it over nice and tight. There we go. Now, lastly, we can do the legs. Now, some people will actually stand the chair up first, do the legs. We don't have to because the legs aren't in the reclined position. So we need to take these screws out here. These are the leg mounts. And then how these leg mounts work is you flip them up like so. And then I'll show you how the legs sit right inside of there. First, we need to do the electrical connections. So we have one electrical connector here, and then we have the pneumatic connector there. So let me slide the leg into position. And there are wheels on the bottom of this, so you can kind of tilt it and roll it into place. Get it pretty close. Pop the cover off. And we'll come here, plug in that foot, and then it's a little tricky to get to the air. And make sure that is on as tight and flush as you can get it. Perfect. Now that's all plugged in. Make sure those are in there good. And then you have this here on both sides, which go in there. And the best way, come from here, grabbing this gap here, roll it forward as close as you can, and just give it a little lift and a roll, and boom. So in place, flip your mounts down. And then it's a little to get these in with your fingers, so I put the screw on the wrench first and just very lightly get that in there and make sure it's threading nice and even. Perfect. Tighten that down. Nice and tight. Same thing on the other side. Nice and tight again. Perfect. Now that is all set. Now we have this cover here. This is our dust protector. So rip this off, exposes the Velcro. And then we have where it connects right inside of there, that tan line. Get this Velcro, put it right inside of there. Make sure that's nice and tight and flush. That'll protect the electrical components and the mechanisms from getting any dust inside of there. And then we have an extra protector as well, the zipper. So we'll line that up. Zip it right up. Now the chair is good to go. All we need to do is plug it in. So we'll come to the back here. And always plug your chair into a surge protector to be extra safe. Now we put this right there and then turn it on with this switch here. And the chair will automatically sit itself up when you turn it on. So just be patient, listen for any noises, make sure it sounds nice and quiet and smooth, no clunks. Awesome, now that the chair is all ready, it's in an upright position, we want to go ahead and make sure the arms are in correctly. They're not too hard to open. These feel pretty good. That button opens, closes very smooth. Let's check this side. This one is smooth as well. But just so I can show you how to do this, let me go ahead and show you if the arm is here and it's a little hard, you have to kind of really press the button and pull it open. It's because you need to make a slight adjustment right here to this latch. So if you see here, we have 3 Phillips screws. If you just come in here at the Phillips, unscrew them just a little bit, enough where they're loose, not all the way out. Just like a full turn. Now that is loosened up and it'll kind of slide around. And then all you need to do, you don't need to touch this. Just shut it a few times and it'll self-align. And then we'll come back here, tighten it back up. And now that is even smoother than it was before. Perfect. Now let's go over, this was in our accessory box we opened before that had the owner's manual, foot pad, screws and tools in it. So this is the special feature to the chair, and I'll show you how to use this. So what we're gonna wanna do is remove this pillow. You can just lay it back with the pads. And then we'll come here, press this little tab gently, pull it out, and then lift straight up. That comes right out. And then you see inside of here we have the USB. This is where the Aroma device will plug in. So if you look here, there's our aromatherapy box. We'll open this up and we have this little device here we pull out. And then we're going to want to pull out one of these stones as well. They're a little tricky to get out of there. They put them in there pretty snug. So we'll get that stone out. And then you press this button onto the device, pop that open, place your stone inside of there. And then whenever you use this, you'll use essential oil with it. So you'll put just one drop inside of that stone, seal it up, and it really doesn't matter what oil you use in it, as long as it's an essential oil.
You can drop a few extra if you want it stronger.
And then we'll pop this guy open. This is the USB. And we come right inside of here, plug it in nicely, and that's in place. And then we get this here, and you have these two pins there, which line up here. So make sure those are lined up, just like that, nice and easy. And then how we can turn that device on, we come into our remote, go all the way down to our environment settings, come over and just hit OK on aromatherapy, and that device will turn on and you will get your nice aromatherapy. Awesome, now I'm going to show you how you can easily move this chair around your house without having to take it completely apart. Now there is an easier way to move it if you take the ottoman off. I'll show you that later. First off, let me show you how to move it as is. So we'll want to come, turn off the chair, make sure you hear it click off, unplug the plug there, and then I'm going to place my foot here. Now be careful, don't put your foot on top of this, as you can crack that plastic. Just kind of keep your foot braced. You can brace it like that, sideways, however you feel. And then you'll have another helper holding down here, the point at the bottom, with the roller ready to slide underneath the chair. So you're going to want to grip from here and lean the chair back like so.
Using your body weight.
Yep. Keep it supported back with your body weight. Wait until he's ready. And then we'll bring the chair down nice and easy. Now that's on that roller and we can move it around super easily. And then now let's take it back off the roller so you can see that. So we'll move the chair over. Same exact sort of motion. Brace with your foot. Hold your body here. Lean back with the chair. And you can even hold, if your arms are long enough, underneath here. And then we'll come down nice and steady. Awesome. So now if you're by yourself, you don't have a helper, you really need to move this chair. Nice and simple way. And I showed you earlier on into the video as well, but I'll just do a recap because that was before we actually put the legs on. So in order to do this, you'll actually need to take the legs off. So just go through the motion, unzip here, unvelcro here, expose your screws. unscrew there and there, take your electrical pneumatic off, put the legs out of the way, and then now your bars, they can go inside of there. See how they don't fit with the legs on? You have to have the legs off. So once you have the legs off, you can get those bars in there, and then there's actually wheels on the back, like I demonstrated before, and you can move the chair around like a wheelbarrow. So if you need to, you know, vacuum under it, move it to another room, whatever, you can do that by yourself. Awesome. Last but not least, this is the last little accessory in our accessory box from before that had our owner's manual in it and our moving bars and aromatherapy. And these are extra foot pads. So if we open these up, pull these out, we have 2 leather pads for your feet. So if you have very sensitive feet, put these down there. It gives you a little extra layer. And then also, some people have sensitive calves. This chair has very strong calf rollers. So you can take these pads and you can also place them in the back of the calves as well.
Okay.
Awesome. So that's it for the foot pads. And that's it for everything in the chair. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this video was very helpful to you. We have lots and lots of other videos breaking down features in chairs, functions of chairs on our YouTube channel, and also overall education on how daily use of massage chairs will improve your life. Go check out our channel, come in our store, check out our amazing models here. We hope to see you soon. And again, I hope this helped you out. Take care.